So, my beautiful flow lovers, I have another brilliant conversation in front of me. I have this beautiful guest. And to be honest, when I first got to know about her, that completely triggered me. It really triggered me. And you will know exactly why when we're having our conversation. So, stay tuned and just enjoy this little music that's coming on right now, because right after the music, we're going to dive right in. So here comes the trailer. Cut. And we are coming back here with my beautiful guest, Kellie Rhymes.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. Hi, how are you?
I am doing wonderful today. How about you?
I am doing great, especially when I see your beautiful smile. So for everybody who is just listening to us, I'm sitting in front of this amazing, beautiful, bald woman. And now I'm going to tell you why she triggered me, or why what she told about herself triggered me. And that is because in the beginning of the year, I experienced hair loss. Like there were like chunks, like bundles of hair coming out of my in my hands when I was going through my hair, in my brush, when I washed my hair, it was just coming out. You couldn't really see it, but it was, for me, I'm lucky that I have a lot of hair, but it was coming out so much. And that moment I realized that I identify myself through my hair, that my hair is part of my identity as a woman. And so it got me on this journey for the past 8-9 months. And all of a sudden, Kellie comes into my life and I'm like, oh no. But we have to talk about this. So Kellie, tell us a little bit about you, how you became this beautiful, powerful, bold woman, and how you are just confident showing up.
Well, let me start by saying it took some work. It didn't just happen overnight. Trust me. Just like you explained with your experience with hair loss, I experienced the same thing, but it was a little bit different. I actually started losing my hair in my late 20s. And I didn't know what was going on. And I just went down the route of, okay, well, let me figure out why I'm losing hair. And at that time, I actually had locks, or what people call dreadlocks. And I ended up having those combed out. So this is how much hair is related to your identity. Now, most of the time, people will just cut their hair. They'll cut the locks off and just start fresh and, start new and just have a shortcut and let it grow back out. But no, not me. No, I didn't want to cut my hair off. Even though I had a small bald spot at the top of my head, I did not want to cut my hair off because I was attached to it. So I had him combed out, and it was a process that took several days. So that's where my mind was. It was denial. What do I need to do? What natural oils and, essential oils and different things and remedies that can I use to get my hair to grow back? I hadn't gone to the dermatologist at that point. It actually took me a while to go to the dermatologist because of my denial. But eventually I did go, and I found out that I have what they call scarring alopecia. There's an actual term which I cannot pronounce, but the acronym is CCCA. That's what they would the short acronym for the type of alopecia I have, but people call it scarring alopecia. And it really just came from hair styling practices and hair products. That's what caused my hair to come out. So I went down this long journey, this long road of working on myself. Well, first, let me take a step back. I went down the long journey of covering it up. That was it. It was years of covering it up, wearing wigs, wearing hair wraps, wearing different things, styling my hair to cover up the thin spots and the bald spots, until I got to the point to where I was like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to wear wigs anymore. I'm hot. I was living in Arizona, so it was very hot under those wigs. I wanted to be my authentic self. I wanted to, step into my new world, my new life, attract new, different types of relationships as myself. I didn't want to meet new people and have a wig on or look a certain way, and then they see me the next time and I had a bald head. So I just really, really worked on my mindset, made myself uncomfortable in different situations to prepare myself to cut my hair off and be confident as a bald woman. So that's the short version of how I got to where I am today.
Okay, so how long did that process take?
Oh, wow. It was over, let's see. If I was in my late 20s, I actually officially cut my hair off in 2019. Like this was the second time I did a big cut. So that had to be over, I know it was over 15 years. I know that. I don't know. I can't tell you the exact time span, but it was over 15 years of me just dealing with the hair loss. And I even went to the point of trying to go get hair transplants, and I was told I couldn't because I wasn't a good candidate. So it was just like, I just went down a lot of different paths and a lot of different roads to try to resolve my hair loss until I embraced it and accepted it. And many women are doing the same thing, which is why it's important for me to be in this space.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And coming back to identity, like, you are an authenticity coach, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Our authenticity comes from, who am I?
Yes.
Who am I? Like, who am I in this world? Who am I? What am I showing of myself? Mm-hmm. And that is our identity. That is the identity that we create. And I mean, as women, there are so many things that we have been told when we were younger. But one of the things, of course, is women have long hair.
Yeah.
You know, it's so fascinating. My daughter, when she was little, no one in our family has talked about this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't know where she got it from, but when she was 4, she saw a boy with long hair and she was like, "Oh, there's a girl." I was like, "No, that's actually a boy." "No, that's a girl. She has long hair." Mm-hmm. I was like, wow, where does that come from?
Well, it comes from society, media. Like that's what we are presented with. And when we look at TV or we are online, we see commercials and ads and different things. And what do we see when it comes to hair care? It's always a woman with long, flowy, thick hair, and she's shaking her hair from side to side in slow motion and showing how lovely her hair is. That's the standard of beauty, right? That society has set. And we have to change that because there are so many different people in this world that look all types of ways. We have all types of shapes, sizes, looks, colors, all of the things under the rainbow, right? Why do we have one standard of beauty? That's not realistic. And we need to change that, because even if you don't have hair, that you still are beautiful. You still are a human being. And what a lot of people have to remember, because everybody knows this, your beauty comes from within. And when you stop hiding and covering up and doing all of these different things that you think or feel makes you look beautiful, your real beauty will shine. It will come out. So just understand that.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And that's such a great reminder. You know, we're doing so much to look good, to present ourselves good. You know, like Instagram, Facebook, like all social media is all about looking good. It's even in the suckiest moments, we try to make it look good so it's still relatable for people.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's like, you know, you have this breakdown moment and you cry and you're like, okay, what's the best angle to cover the biggest tear right now? And it's like, why are we doing that?
Right.
So coming back to identity and authenticity and hair loss in particular in women, how do we get over that? How do we change our identity? How do we transform our identity when it is connected to a body part?
Yeah. It all starts with mindset. And I know that may sound repetitive, but we hear mindset everywhere, but that is truly where it starts. It starts from within, because you have to believe a certain thing about yourself in order for that to be reflected outwardly, right? So you have to take a step back and address all that negative self-talk, all of those impressions, ideas, and negative experiences you may have had due to your hair loss, we have to let that go. And that's part of what I do. I help women release those emotional negative charges that are related to whether your hair loss, so it could be anything else, because there are people out here who have other things about them that they may not be happy with, or maybe insecure about, that I can help with. So, you know, maybe someone who has had an amputation or a disfiguration due to an accident. There's all types of people out here. And it's hard because, again, the norm that society presents looks a certain way. And when you don't look that way, you're looked at as, oh, you're awkward or you're different. And you get the looks and the stares, and that doesn't make people feel comfortable. But you have to also understand that you have to get comfortable. People are going to look, they're going to stare. So part of that is what I do is also helping you get comfortable with the attention. I'm an introvert. I always wanted to stay in the background. I never wanted the attention to be on me. But I understood when I was about to cut my hair off for the second time that was the attention I was going to get. So let's prepare myself for that. Let's get used to people looking and staring, and let's learn how to either block it out or embrace it, or however you want to handle it. Me personally, I tend to block stuff out because I'm focused on what I'm doing when I'm out and about in my daily life. I'm really not paying attention to people. Not to say I'm not paying attention to my surroundings, because I am aware of my surroundings, but am I paying attention to this lady or man across the street staring at me? No, I'm not. I really don't care. I look beautiful. And when they do stare at me now, I'm like, oh, they must see how beautiful I am. Or they must like, you know, something about me. But before I prepared myself and adjusted my mindset, I had all negative thoughts. It would have been, oh, they must think I'm ugly. Oh, they must think I'm a man. Because those are the thoughts I was getting when I first cut my hair off that first time, and I wasn't prepared. That's the negativity. Those are the thoughts that I would come to me. And that was, again, reflected on the outside world. So it all goes back to mindset.
Yeah. And I cannot stress that enough. You know, we always think, oh, the transformation needs to be big. There needs to be something like this big grand tool that you have that, you know, comes from the sky, like a big sword that says a fiery sword. And with that, I'm going to cut off all my shame and all my guilt, and everything just goes away. But actually, it is the little things, you know, the little shifts, like in your daily routine, or like you say, the mind shift. How do I shift from I'm ugly to I am beautiful?
Yeah.
Of course, the path from I'm ugly to I'm beautiful can be really hard, and it can be really long, but it is actually that simple.
Yes.
So how do you, when somebody comes to you and, you know, somebody like me who's like, I'm losing my hair, I'm losing my identity, what's happening? So how would you help me with that?
Well, the first thing I do is I sit down and listen to the women, because everybody has a unique story. Everybody has their own journey. There's not going to be one way to help everyone. Now, so I listen, because also, in addition to what I just told you, many times people just want to get it off their chest. They just want to talk because they don't have anybody else to talk to that can relate to what they're going through. I'm pretty sure you don't know a whole lot of women that you can go talk to about your hair loss. Do you?
No, I cannot.
See? So for them to even just come to me, they see I have hair loss, and, you know, I have a bald head. So they know, okay, there's already a connection there. Let me just lay it out. And that's what I say. What's happening? What's going on? Tell me. How are you feeling? And I just let them talk. Let them get it all out. And then that helps in itself for them to feel better. Okay, so now that you've gotten it out, let's deal with some of these things that you've brought up. And then that's when we start tackling those little issues that are hindering them and from moving forward to embracing. And I'm not saying, and I just want to make sure I'm clear, I'm not saying every woman should cut their hair off and be bald. Not saying that at all. But what I am saying is I want you to be confident enough to do whatever you want to do. So if you choose to still wear a wig, that's fine. Let's still wear a wig. But let's make sure you have the right wig that looks good on you and it compliments you. So you're not concerned or worried or insecure about how does this wig look on me, you know? If you want to wear a head wrap, okay, well, let's go find some beautiful head wraps. And let's look at some tutorials to see how you can wrap them in different ways and style it with your outfit. Like, let's do different things. So it all depends on what that woman, her ultimate goal of what she wants. My purpose is just to build up your confidence so that you are okay in any situation, whether that's going out and meeting a new person to date, you know, and putting yourself out there in a dating scene, or going to work and, you know, feeling confident that your workers or colleagues are not looking at your head or your hair to see what's going on, you know, just building you up all around, because it will affect so many areas of your life, the insecurity and of the hair loss. It will affect different parts of your life, and we need to make sure we don't allow that to happen. Let's take back that control. Let's just say, hey, what's happening here? And this is another thing I want to bring up. I also make sure women know what is exactly happening with them that is causing the hair loss. We have to understand and know what's going on. Don't go years like myself before you really find out what exactly is happening. So that's another key part.
Okay, so it took you quite a while to go to a dermatologist to really figure out what happens. Why did it take you so long?
Denial. It all goes back to I did not want to accept that I was losing my hair, for one. Definitely did not want to accept that it wasn't coming back. And I think there was a little bit of fear. Now that I say this out loud, there was a little bit of fear that my hair was not coming back. And that was a big deal for me at that time. So it just took me more time to go because I was so busy trying to figure it out on my own, or either just going to YouTube University and saying, hey, give me some hairstyles I can, you know, do for myself that could help me out here. I was just handling it on my own. I didn't really want to share with a lot of people. It was also a little bit devastating. I mean, I was losing a part of myself. Only people that knew about my hair loss were my close friends. And when I say close friends, I keep my circle real tight. So they knew. And then like my mom and my sister, that was it. Nobody else in my family knew, no extended people. It was something that was just really, really private. I didn't want to share. I was hiding it because I didn't want people to look at me in a certain way. And I already didn't feel like I was the most beautiful person. So I definitely didn't want other people projecting their thoughts on me either.
Yeah, that is so interesting, right? When we hide something that is happening to us because we are afraid that people would look differently at us, you know, that they would see us differently. And that we kind of expect them to look at us differently, you know? And I'm really, really glad you brought this up earlier, that you went through this alone, you know, that you didn't share it and went through this alone. And that it cost you that much time because of it. And I am so happy that there are people like you and like me now that, you know, other women can come to and don't have to go through it alone. They don't have to pretend, you know, they can just come to you because they look at you and they're like, wow, she did it already. Or they look at my work and they're like, oh, wow, look what she's done. Like, I want to do what she's doing. And then they come because that is actually a shortcut. You know, I don't believe in shortcuts in life, but it saves you so much time. It saves you so much heartbreak and sorrow because you feel so alone and lonely actually on this journey.
Yes.
So thank you so much for coming out of your cave, for stepping out into the light and showing yourself in your full beauty, because I truly think that you're incredibly beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. And I feel beautiful now.
Yeah. So what did it do for you? You know, this transformation, this transition, like now you're shining and you're saying, I'm beautiful, but you also said, I didn't feel beautiful. Like on the way there, how did that feel?
Well, okay. So you're asking like the journey to embracing and becoming confident. How did that feel?
Yeah.
Well, let me take it two different ways. When I had my wig on, it felt like eyes were always on me because I was always insecure about, hey, does this wig look right? Can people tell I'm wearing a wig? And it was just all of this negative self-talk in my head. You know, like that is what was happening. Really, that is really what was happening. Now, on the outside, I did present that I was confident, but on the inside, I truly wasn't. So the difference now is on the inside, I truly feel confident. And on the outside, I truly present both the confidence on the inside and outside. So, I mean, that's a little bit of the difference. Did I answer your question? I'm hoping I did.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for rephrasing my question, because sometimes I get so romantic about stories and words that it's like, what was that the actual question now? Yes, but you did answer that beautifully. And what came out, or what I got from this, what you said, was this fake it until you make it kind of mentality, that we are fed this mentality, you know, to fake it until we make it. I've done this so many years, you know, in my former career, and even in the beginning, you know, I have so and so many followers. No, I have this. I have that much experience. And now that I am actually where I've always wanted to be, I'm like, wow, why wasn't I just honest? You know, why wasn't I just saying I'm just starting out? Or why didn't I just say back then, I'm uncomfortable. I don't like to feel vulnerable. I don't like to, you know, show myself openly like this. Why is that?
Because we aren't really taught to be authentic. Realistically, we aren't taught to be exactly who we are. We're taught to be, again, I'm going to go back to the box. We're taught to be in the box and fit into society and what society deems as the right thing to do, the right thing, the right way to look, you know, the right way to dress. All of the things is all based off of society. We're not given the space. Now, though, I can say, I mean, just recently, in recent years, more people are embracing authenticity in all parts of their life. I mean, I've been an entrepreneur for a while, and I have had different businesses, and I can truly see it showing up in business. It's showing up in personal relationships. Like, it's showing up everywhere. And that's a great thing because, like you said, you have people like us. You have a lot of different coaches and mentors out here who are promoting and pushing authenticity, be yourself. And, you know, that ultimately guides you to the life purpose that you were put on this earth to, you know, to fulfill, really. And that's what we need to focus on. And I say this a lot, is that with the hair loss, yes, it's my story, but hair loss isn't my life. You know, it isn't the end of the world. Yes, it's something that has happened to me and for me, because if it wasn't for the hair loss, I wouldn't be able to share my story and help other women. But I mean, realistically, it's leading me to my passion. And that's what we ultimately all want to be led to. And that's the focus. We need to be doing what we were put on this earth to do. And that's the focus.
And there we come to purpose.
Yes.
Purpose work, to really dive. Yeah, you said it, your passion. And I always say, you're not here because of what you want. You're here because of what you desire. The passion, the fire inside of you. And most of the time, you know, because of societal influences, because of family, of friends, of whatever, you know, we dim our lights and we cover up our purpose. There will come an incident. Something will happen that will break open that shell, and your purpose will reveal itself again to you. So congratulations on your hair loss.
Thank you. Exactly. We talking about a mind shift, like mindset shift. Yes. Thank you. Now, I would not have been able to say thank you so many years ago, but now I can truly say thank you.
Yeah, that is just so fascinating what our mind does to keep us safe, to protect us and stuff. So for you, as a proud, beautiful woman, what would you, if you could snap your fingers, if there was a, fairy godmother, what would you love to change in this world right now?
I would love to change how people treat each other. I would love to change that. Yeah, just humanity and the concept of we're all on this earth. We're all people. We all deserve respect, love, kindness. And that should be across the board. It shouldn't be, just because you're here in my neighborhood or in my country or whatever. We need to understand that we're all connected in some kind of way. I'm not saying that physically we're connected, but we're connected and we need to treat each other better across the board.
Yeah. Sorry, this is just, I love when my guests say that, because I truly believe that when I feel good, somebody else feels good as well. You're always a mirror for somebody else. And I have incredible friends around me who mirror that to me all the time, and that's how I know that we are connected, not just in a closer circle, but that we're like everybody. Because first of all, because we're human, that's our first thing that we have in common. We all have legs, we all have arms, we all have a thumb. So that keeps us apart from any other species on this planet at this point. So this is something that connects us already. And we're all here because we are on a journey. And your journey is not like my journey. My reality is not your reality, but the basis is the same, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I guess it goes back to love. It just goes back to love, like loving yourself, loving others, loving your surroundings, loving the world, Mother Nature, everything. Like love and respect. That's just it.
Oh God, I'm gonna name this episode the love episode. Because it really comes down to that. So thank you so much, because it is that simple. Loving yourself, loving your neighbors, loving people that you don't know, just for them being there, and respecting one another. This is really, really beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not saying go love on everybody. If somebody treats you horribly, hey, boundaries. We have those too.
Yes, we do. We have those too. That's very important. Yes, absolutely. Oh my God. Okay. One last question before we part.
Okay.
So, are you ready? So, if you could go back and tell your 28, 29-year-old self something, what would you tell that woman?
Oh, what would I tell myself? I would say, first, go find out what's happening with your hair loss. That's the first thing. The second thing I would say is grow within yourself, like learn who you are. I think that's really, because I was still searching at that time. Take time, take space for me and to learn who I am. And I think that leads to authenticity, really. It can't lead anywhere else but authenticity. But I could have started this journey earlier. So taking a step back, understanding who I am as a person, not allowing the outside influences to affect how I feel about myself, and truly getting comfortable with my quirks, my whatever it may be, all of the little things about Kellie that are different. Embrace those and be good, okay with it and comfortable with it. I mean, I used to spend time being hard on myself because I was shy, I was quiet. And on top of that, people did think I was pretty, with the hair, all of that. They always say, "Oh, you're pretty," or this, but I never really embraced that. So I still had a little bit of self-esteem issues anyway. And I think that's most women or most people. I'm not going to say women. I'm going to say people. You could be picture perfect on the outside, but you still feel a certain way on the inside. So I would just really want to connect with myself and understand who I am, why I am the way I am, and love that and be okay with that.
And that's so beautiful. So my beautiful flow lovers, if you want to connect to Kellie and learn more about her, she's going to tell you in a second where you can find her.
Yeah, so you can visit my website. My website is limitlessmindsetcoach.com. And I have a lot of resources on that website. If you would like, I have some wait list on there. I'm actually planning a retreat in 2025. I don't have all of the details yet, but if you're interested in going on a healing retreat or authenticity retreat, that wait list is there. Or if you just need support around your hair loss in general, you're experiencing it now and just want to pick something up, I do have a 90-day hair loss journal so that you can write out those feelings. It has affirmations, it has goals in there, weekly goals you set for yourself. It's a way for you to start preparing yourself. If you're thinking about, hey, I need to make a big shift because of this hair loss, it's a way to help you step into that big shift. Again, it's not that you have to cut your hair off. It could just be as simple as, I need to embrace this. I need to accept what's happening, or I need to go to the dermatologist and do some more research and maybe follow what the dermatologist is asking me to do. Whatever that may be, you can use the journal to help track and figure out the path. And see where you ultimately want to end up, in regards to your hair loss. So you definitely go pick that up. Check out my freebies page. Have a lot on there that you can, pick and choose from. And if you want to talk to me, you could click the link and on my website and set up a call with me on my calendar. Now, if you want to follow me on social media, I am on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. Look for Miss Kellie Michelle. So it's MS Kellie, Kellie, Michelle, Michelle, and you'll find me.
Yes. And all of the links, of course, you are going to find underneath this video or in the podcast description. But I just love when my guests tell you where you can find them, because it's always this moment of yes. So Kellie, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story with us, with me, and for shining your light in this world where women or people in general are searching for their identity.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me once again on your show. And I really enjoyed this conversation.
Oh, thank you. And that's it. That's it for today. That's our show. So thank you so much for staying with us and watching this listening to this incredible episode with a wonderful Kellie Rhymes. Check out her website. Check out her freebies. Connect to her on social media and send her some love, because I just loved this episode so much. If you have not yet, then if you're watching us on YouTube, click the bell to not miss an episode, or subscribe to the podcast, give us a follow, send us a comment, a review. I'll read every review personally, and it would mean the world to me if you connect to us and tell us what you love about 52 Weeks of Flow, because this is how we can bring on more amazing guests and bring more flow into this world. So on Spotify now, you can actually leave a cool comment for us. So please head over there if you're not listening right now there and give us a cool comment. Otherwise, you can also send me an email, bea@superwoman.coach. Connect to us on social media at moving_river, on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook. And until next time, keep shining, keep learning, keep growing, and keep flowing.